Nothing beats a Jet 2 holiday. I could see Mark down there laughing. Hey, everybody. Got a lot to get into tonight, so I'm not going to beat around the bush. Let me go ahead and get everyone in here. While I'm doing that, what are you drinking? Where are you from? I'm drinking, what is this called? Something new. Wicked Garden Hard Cider Blueberry from the great state of Texas. First up tonight, let me bring him up on the stream. Oh, hi, Mark.
Hey, you stole my intro, man. That's exactly what
you were going to do that.
Yeah, it was.
God, that killed me the other day. Yeah, people, Fit and Fire. He's been on enough of them now. You know the deal. A huge, I gotta say, huge Zastava shill, such as myself. So if you're into Zastavas, there's plenty of content over there for you.
Agreed. I will be taking a trip this next weekend that's going to be fully funded by the Zastava Czech. So yeah, so I'm really, really happy about that.
I don't know where they get it with this whole, halt on exporting. So they must really believe in you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, next up, another member, full-fledged member of the Shill Guild, H-Town Werewolf.
Lizard. Hey guys, I'm drinking a Modelo tonight. Just a small boy. It's a 40. Ow!
Yeah, I think my hetero life partner at this point, Mr. H-Town Werewolf, he's in just about every video for like the past 3 or 4 months, I think. A lot of them. Oh, yeah, you just did an M23 video. It looks awful familiar.
Yeah.
All right. Well, looks like we got a little over 100 people in. Why don't we get started? Mr. Jerry's in the comments swinging that band hammer. I wish somebody would. Test Jerry. So tonight, there's a few things I wanted to get into. I want to talk to Stenzel SK21. We're going to talk a little bit about suppressors. We're going to talk a little bit about Pioneer Arms. They're having a rough week, I think. Rough couple of weeks. We're going to talk about maybe a little bit of what's going on at Goals or the lack thereof, like nothing happening at Goals this weekend. And Zastava, of course. We have to. We're paid to. So we have to talk about Zastava a little bit today. Mark, what have you been getting into lately, dude?
Oh, man. To be honest with you, it has been a crazy quick summer. My daughter was with me, so, not taking care of her, but, just spending time with her. A lot of stuff with Zastava USA. Obviously, just launched the AB2 video today. That is actually really, really cool. But unfortunately, there was a single pin on the front sight block. So you can definitely tell that it's a garbage build, so there's that.
As in it was missing a pin on the front sight post?
No, the comment that I got on the video was that one of the pins was egged out, and whoever was assembling it kind of mashed out that pin.
Oh.
Which is like, okay, well, this is a kit from 1990, so
you'll get that on those big jobs, dude.
Yeah, I know, right? So anyway, but the AB2 video is out. I actually really do like that. It's super soft shooting too. This is one of the things that really surprised me about it, is how soft it is to shoot with it being an underfolder, because those things kind of beat you up a little bit. And then also working on getting the round count up on one of the Zooks suppressors. So excited about that. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on.
Hell yeah, brother. Before I ask H-Town, I'll tell you what I've been getting into. Went to the biggest gun show in Texas yesterday and today. You could throw a rock and hit a table with Plinkify selling FRTs that were literally everywhere. We were literally playing a game called Spot the FRT Salesman. There's probably 20 tables selling different FRTs. Everything from like a table with like a dude with like a Joe Dirt level, kind of like me, like just pubes for a beard, vaping, selling like 3D printed FRTs, to the vast amounts of Plinkify tables that were there. There's just this modern day gold rush of everyone getting in on it, on that gravy train. And I bought something that's going to show up on the channel very soon. I got a Ishapur 762 NATO #1 Mark III, like an SMLE, a Lee Enfield, but it's chambered in 762 NATO. Super happy about that. And yeah, just, you know, shilling my balls off this week. So I've had a good time. What about you, Rodrigo? What you been doing?
Oh man, so just finished the M23 video. That's up on the channel now. I still have a part 2 to that. I'm gonna do a little bit more accuracy testing with it, printing groups out to 300 yards. So that would probably come up probably next week. And then after that, I do have a Frankenstein build, the Mac 90 that I traded for. That's gonna be on the channel pretty soon. Also, I'm just waiting on a couple of parts, but that's the Chinese AK that I'm trying to take it back to stock. It had a ton of aftermarket parts, and I just want to go OG with it since it's a classic. So that's what I got going on.
Well, hell yeah, brother. Well, why don't we I want to get into the Zastava thing. It's like fresh on my brain right now. So unless you're living under a rock, maybe there's some people that don't know. There's a halt, not like a ban. There's a halt on exportation in Serbia on firearms and ammo. So this is your PPU ammo. This is all the Serbian guns, the Zastavas. Sorry, Mark. So that's a problem. In fact, let me pull up the post here. Zastava on their page has this post where they kind of break down what's been going on. And they are flat out saying that they are out of stock on M70s, that you have to go through like distributors. So correct me if I'm wrong, Mark. I know you've been following this. So basically what had happened was some Serbian AKs are like showing up on the opposite side of the front in Ukraine. Russia made a big stink about it. Serbia and Russia have been allies for a long time. Russia's like, bro, what are you doing? Why are your guns showing up over there? And they're like, I don't know. I didn't sell them to them. Well, we got somehow they're getting over there. You better figure it out or we're going to sweat you. So Zastava halted everything, I guess, to most likely figure out how they got over there. But the way they're wording it is to, you know, just keep everything in Zastava. Just keep Serbia strong right now. We don't want to piss off Russia. So that being said, that's a problem. Not only are we going to be facing tariffs, which are going to make all those things like 30% more expensive soon, but we can't even get them right now. So when everyone sells out of all the M70s soon, there might be a drought. So then out of nowhere, after all of this happened, Zastava started selling surplus on their website. They announced at SHOT Show they were doing their parts kits. Mark, I think you featured it on your channel. But out of nowhere, they started selling grenade spigots, bayonets, mag pouches, and then even started assembling the M70 AP2 kits into firearms and selling them. What's your take on that, Mark? To me, they're just doing it because there's no more M70s for a while.
Yeah, that's actually a great point. To caveat on what you said too, the first article that I ended up seeing about this about a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, one of the other pieces to it was that Serbia was selling a lot of firearms to Israel as well. And obviously that's a big touchy point. But the way that they're kind of adapting and trying to make sure that they don't go under because of this kind of freeze or this lag in export shipments from Serbia is actually pretty smart. Not only are they pulling these AB2 kits together, and in my opinion, I'm not an expert AK builder or anything like that, but in my opinion, these are pretty decent. They're not great, but I would say that they're decent kits. It's ones that I've been wanting for a very long time and was able to pick one up. And I would say that they're fairly well priced. $999 for a surplus kit that's been assembled on a Childers receiver and an AK builder barrel. So I think that's pretty decent. But just to kind of keep them afloat as it is right now, I think that's pretty smart of what they're doing, because essentially what they had done is right after SHOT Show, they announced that they were going to have these parts kits. Well, if you go to their website right now, you're not going to find any of the parts kits. The reason for that is because obviously they are building them. And I, again, think that's incredibly smart. There's another point that I was getting ready to make and I spaced it, but yeah, that's kind of where I stand. I think they're doing pretty good.
I didn't realize that you couldn't just buy the demilled kits anymore.
Yeah. I was just looking at that earlier today because someone had made a comment on the post, and I already talked about it. So I went on to Zastava USA to find if I could just buy one of the kits, and I can't find them. Not to say that they're still not there. They could be. I just didn't click the right link maybe, but I couldn't find them. So I thought that was pretty smart. And for those of you who are wondering, the reason why they are using AK builder kits instead of the original barrels, AK builder barrels, if I could even talk, is because these kits were imported into the United States prior to the new rules about allowing barrels to come in with the kits. So that's one of the reasons why you see that. I do see that Wisconsin Firearms says he got his kit from Mocus, and yeah, great. That's a great place to source them as well.
I got some stuff from Mocus recently. I'll show it later.
Does he actually build them, or does he just have the kits?
So I think it was his website. He was actually selling, maybe I'm thinking of Pod Arms. He may, I don't know. I don't know if Mocus actually builds them. I think he just deals in surplus wood kits, and every now and again we'll have firearms on there, but I don't know if he's actually building them or is contracting someone to build any to sell.
Well, I've always heard great things about him, and
he was super cool to deal with. I'm surprised I don't have a sticker. I just had his friggin' sticker right here in front of me. It's already on the safe. Mocus Rafus, amazing website. Let me just show you what I got from him. I'm pretty sure I can show this on YouTube. It's Nerf. It's a Nerf accessory. So YouTube, if you're watching, this is for my Nerf thing.
Mm-hmm.
But, we're just talking about Zastava. And I noticed that Zastava was starting to sell these on their website. Who can tell me what this is in the comments?
It's a dart gun.
First one gets a prize. Not really, but what is it? It's not for your prison wallet, even though it looks like it would fit in there really easy.
Rib for your pleasure.
Some people might be into it.
Exactly. This is a spigot. I'm not going to say it out loud because YouTube might be watching and then they'll figure out what the next item is. But that's exactly what it is. Yep. All you guys, looks just like the end of a Yugo SKS. Okay, so threads right onto your thing to put a thing on, right? So Mocus actually has chalk versions of this thing I'm about to show you. So they actually have ways for you to use this and send things flying off of your thing with blanks on your Nerf gun. Just saying. So I got one of these. It's one of those Nerf footballs from the 90s. Remember those? They whistle when you throw them.
Oh, yeah.
So it actually goes in there.
Looks kind of like a lawn dart.
And then it goes, makes a little, that's what Rodrigo's butthole sounds like. Anyway, so I picked up a bunch of those from Mocus Rafus. I'm working on a video to use all that stuff. But just on the whole Zastava topic, like, these are pretty cool. These are nice too. It came packed in Cosmoline. It was, I can't remember, $30 maybe. It wasn't that expensive. But to the point, these M70 AB2s that they're selling, Rodrigo, you have one of the M70 underfolders newly produced. So that's going to have the cold hammer forged chrome line barrel. It's a new produced M70 with the underfolder, but it's not an AB2. Doesn't have the gas shut off, the grenade sights, doesn't have any of that, right?
Yeah. So I do have one of the new productions with minus the gas shut off. Yeah.
So I saw some at the gun show today retailing for like $1,300, $1,400. I don't know if that's what they're actually going for, but that's what the dealers were asking, right?
I got you. I
So
think
you
I
can
got
get,
mine for like 1,100 chicken nuggets off of Classic Firearms.
yeah, you were in on it early, like right when they
Yeah.
dropped. I
Yeah.
think they've gone up.
Yep.
So just saying, I know it's a button barrel. It's not a cold hammer forged barrel that these M70 AB2s are coming with, but $9.99, you can use those things I just showed you. You have old surplus parts built into a kit. I don't know if the barrel's a sticking point for me at the price. It's pretty cool. I'm spoiled because I've got that government contract gun that I think we paid like $600 for. But the one in your video looked so damn clean. I'm thinking about getting one just because it looked really nice. But I guess the point is you can literally buy one of each. This one's got the cold hammer forged barrel. You're going to pay more for it. You don't get the gas shut off. Not that you would ever use it, but it looks tits. It just does. You could pay $1,000, get a pretty clone correct AB2 button barrel, not cold hammer forged, but it is chrome line. I guess how important is that to you? To me, not that important, honestly.
Yeah, that's what I found talking with Cody from Red Right Hand. If you get a good, 4150 steel barrel, it's nitrated, it's going to be fine. When it comes to these AB2 kits, and something I reiterated a couple of different times in my video is this is kind of a collector's item for me. So I don't expect to go to a competition and burn it down. Obviously a cold hammer forged barrel is going to last longer than a nitrated barrel, but at the end of the day, this is something I'm going to take out, have a little fun with, and that's about it.
I kind of feel the same way about the AB2s. I just think they're really cool to own. It's just a really cool AK variant to own.
Yeah, if I can chime in a little bit on them, they're not very comfortable. They're not very comfortable to shoot at all. I did. So my government contract AB2, the gas was busted. It wasn't. It was seized up. The gas block was seized up. So I contacted Aaron at Iron Curtain, and he told me just punch it out. Punch it out. So I punched it out. It was full of like rust and all kinds of stuff in there. So I cleaned out the port, put it back in, and now it's awesome. So
Good.
mine's working now.
Good.
Does it make that noise when you fold it?
It does this. That, like a tight butthole.
Well, you also have to think how many thousands of rounds of blanks have been through that thing, So
you know what? Good point. People are getting a little caught up on the gun that you just bought, having a button rifle. And yours is at least chrome lined, is it not?
Correct. It is.
Rodrigo and I own a couple that are not chrome lined, not cold hammer forged, that have had blanks pumped through them for like over 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
My barrel is not rusted. My rifling is still strong. And those dudes were not nice to them. So I'm just saying, like, that the guns that were used in Op 4, some of them even survived that. Not all did. But it's just such a weird thing to complain about at that price point. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just a shill. But to me, it's not a big deal. The gun would be more expensive if they used something else.
Yeah, exactly. You put a cold hammer forged chrome line barrel into this kit. Now you're talking, instead of a $1,000 rifle, you're probably talking what, $1,200, $1,300. And to be frankly honest with you, I don't think that anybody's going to jump on that as much as they would just how they are now. So, but again, just my opinion. I know that I've made comments on other people's videos and that they get them, deleted and stuff like that. But if you just take the AB2 as it is, right, and realize that this isn't going to be a wasser, it's not going, well, I guess would you guys feel that this would be kind of at the same level as a wasser as far as like its durability, its reliability type of thing?
We're talking about the M70?
Yeah, the AB2. These kits, the kit build.
Just because the Wasser has the cold hammer forged barrel, it's probably going to end up lasting you a little bit longer. Maybe it can take the heat a bit better. Still, though, if you put an M70 AB2 on the table next to a Wasser and said, you got to shoot one a lot, which one you shooting? Everyone's going to go for the fixed stock Wasser. People just aren't going to put a lot of rounds through these underfolders. Most people that have underfolders, let's be honest, chat, you don't shoot them that much. No one really does. I've seen very few people. There was a guy that brought an underfolder to the center T class, and I told him it was crazy. But not a lot of people shoot their underfolders on a regular basis at all. Most people got into them because they're cool as shit, and you got to have at least one in the collection. That's why I bought the government contract solely for that reason. I thought it was super cool.
Yeah, me too. I don't like to shoot it.
But dude, it looks, I love it. And you know, some of those, I was interested to see that some of those kits did have trench art. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, mine didn't. Mine's got a little, you know, some dings and stuff like that, and just, you know, that patina, I guess is what you want to call it. But I was hoping for some trench art, but yeah, it is what it is.
Hell yeah. All right. That is exactly 20 minutes. That's what they paid us for. 20 minutes of Zastava talk.
Good. Good. Woo.
But we can make some bonus cash if we talk about that suppressor. So I got a lot of questions about does it affect the suppressor? Like they can't export anything. Well, we can't import cans anyway. So that can is made stateside. That's a Zastava USA thing. So that's not going to be affected at all by any kind of exportation halts. So nope, I'm sure those will be available forever. I know have you shot yours yet, Mark?
Yeah. I shot mine just about 3 days ago.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. I think they're too expensive compared to what else is out there. I just think it's a little expensive, but I thought it was freaking cool, man. It was so light, and people were telling me in the comments, dude, if you think 14 ounces is light, there are so many other cans. Like, bro, I'm one guy. I cannot try out one of 100 different cans. I just can't. I shoot all the heavy-ass AK cans, and out of all the heavy-ass AK cans, it is half the weight of one of them, about a third of a weight of the other one. And I thought that was a pretty big deal. Yeah.
So, you know, interesting that you bring up the price point on it, because I know that I do have a titanium suppressor from Anechoic, and it's about the same price, but it's just a standard titanium can, where this is a 3D printed titanium can. So, you know, what are you going to do? It's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other when it comes to the price of those types of cans, but you are spending more to get a lighter can. Is it the lightest on the market? No, but I could definitely tell where it dampens down that recoil a little bit. As you mentioned in your video, you could just hold it out in front of you and it wouldn't, doesn't wear you down or anything like that.
So I should have been showing a picture of it. There it is. Got the gigantic Zastava logo on the side. Take a shot every time we say Zastava wrong. Boom.
Zastava.
Hey, so speaking of cans, we were going to do this live stream, like a month ago. And the whole reason we wanted to go live last time was just to talk about suppressors and what's going on with no tax on cans. And if that is like not really a good thing in the grand scheme of things, or what the hell. So Joe at Firearms Freedom really wanted him on tonight, couldn't make it. He uploaded a video talking about the pros and cons of that, and probably had the most concise, thoughtful take on the effect that it's going to have, the whole no tax on cans thing. Mark talked about it a little bit in one of his podcasts. Go ahead and plug your podcast too, by the way. I like binged it at Safety Council the other day.
Yeah, it's the Live Laugh LARP podcast. You guys can find it just about anywhere you listen to your podcast. So Spotify, Apple, it's on YouTube. Firearm Freedom, not Firearm Freedom, but what's the website? Anyway, anywhere you can find podcasts, that's where you can find it.
Hell yeah. Well, on one of them, you guys talked about it too, and I thought you had a really good take on it. So I would love to hear your thoughts on the potential pros and cons of there being no, I guess a better question. What are the pros and cons of buying one now and going through the tax stamp process? And what are the pros and cons of waiting until January 1st?
Yep. So obviously right now you will have to pay your $200. All right. So everybody is, I shouldn't say everybody. There's a lot of people who are looking to wait until January so they don't have to spend the $200. There's some suppressor companies who are saying, hey, you can purchase your suppressor now, but we won't process your paperwork until after the first of the year, saving you $200. That's pretty cool too. However, as it stands right now, the Zvuk can that I just got from Zastava, it took me, what was it, 36 hours to turn around. And that is going to be the number one concern, is once you hit the first of the year, all of those wait times are going to spike. So one thing that Joe talked about in his video that I agree with is the ATF, there's nothing stopping them from saying, hey, whoa, our servers can't handle all of these forms coming in. We have to go back to the old manual way, which your wait time goes from 24, 48, maybe even 72 hours or within a week. Now it's going to be several weeks, several months. So that is one piece of it. Number two is straight up supply and demand. You're going to have all of these people flooding the ATF for Form 4s, buying all of these suppressors. And unless your shop actually has it and you're purchasing it from them, then there is a real concern in my mind that suppressor companies are not going to be able to maintain the supply. So you're either going to have to pay more or you're going to have to wait once again. So not only are you waiting for your Form 4, but you're going to wait for inventory as well. So instead of waiting a week, now you're looking at several months once again. And then one of the things that my buddy Hefe on the podcast said, I thought was pretty interesting and kind of insightful. He said that the tax stamp is kind of factored into the price of the can as it stands right now.
Yep.
Suppressor companies are like, hey, we can't sell this at $1,000. We need to come in like maybe $700 to $750 to make sure that that $200 tax stamp isn't going to push someone out of their budget. So we're going to dial that back down a little bit on our price, cut into our profit margins just a little bit. But now that tax stamp's not there anymore. They're not having to spend that. So now they can increase that cost incrementally. And what they can do is they can say, oh, well, supply is an issue right now. There's such a high demand. Unfortunately, we're going to have to increase costs because of, the ramp up of production. We have to get more tooling and stuff like that. So their price point is going to hop up just a little bit to cover that tax stamp that's no longer there. So if you're waiting, it's a strategy. It's a bold move, Cotton. We'll see how that plays out for him. But personally, I'm blessed enough right now that I don't have to wait to purchase something. If I want it, I can buy it. Thank the Lord. And I'm just going to pay the tax stamp. But again, I would hope that suppressor companies are seeing what is on the horizon and they're plussing up inventory right now. The other thing too, one last thing, is a lot of people may not want to plus up their inventory. If you're a suppressor company, they don't want to plus up their inventory because at the end of the year, you have to pay taxes on that inventory. So they may be actually holding off until the first of the year to start ramping up production so they don't have to worry about inventory. So it's a crapshoot right now. We have no idea what is actually happening behind the scenes. And that's kind of my perspective of what we may see.
Would you concur, mi amigo Rodrigo?
Oh man, so I've been in the game for a little while, so I have quite a few cans. And so I'm not in any rush to get any more cans. I'm at a spot right now where like man, I don't know. The whole can thing has just wore off on me. Personally, I'd like to shoot my rifles without the cans on them. So to me, I'm okay. But yeah, if it's gonna be your first can, jump on it now. Don't wait until the rush hits and then you're waiting for a long time. Get it.
So I'm sure you guys heard that was it Silencer Shop actually filed another lawsuit called the Big Beautiful Lawsuit, I think is what it's called. So I guess the idea is now that since they're the only low-hanging fruit, the only thing to cling to now is, since it's a regulated item that you have to register that now doesn't have a tax attached to it, technically anything that's registered in this country should be taxed. So if it's not taxed anymore, why are we still registering these items? That doesn't make any sense. So I don't know. I'm not an attorney. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I do know that's what the next lawsuit. I mean, they filed it like, what was it? 4th of July weekend?
Yeah.
A while back.
Pretty much the same time the bill was signed.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe something will happen, but that's all I know. I don't get any deeper than that.
Well, the concern that I have with that lawsuit is how long did it take for the bump stock and or the brace stuff get through? We're on a very constrained timeline, especially now that we're getting ready to roll into election season with 2026. It's midterm elections. That's going to be pretty dicey to see if anyone kind of sways in support of something that could change the landscape in the 2A community, you know? So it'd be interesting to see what happens.
Hell freaking yeah. Well, any other comments on cans? That's all I want to talk about.
I guess I would suggest something if you're coming into trying to get your first can. Definitely do like a 30 caliber can for your rifle so you can use it on everything 30 cal and down. And then also, if you're going to get a pistol one, go ahead and get a 45 ACP so you can use it on everything 45 and down. So really, you just need 2 cans. And then if you have any 22s, a 22 can. So maybe 3 cans is really all you need.
Yeah.
As long as they're hub compatible.
That's a great point, H-Town. I'm glad I was getting ready to ask what your guys' recommendations were.
Yeah.
That's why I did it. I did a 30 cal Sandman because I knew I could probably put it on everything. And I did a suppressor that I think has a 10 mil plus hole. And it's suppressed every PCC I've ever had. This is pre-hub, though. So, you know, I had a Sandman and I got one of those Wolf 9 SDs. So my first 2 cans, if I could go back, hub wasn't around, but I think I said it in my most recent video. I wish everything I had was hub because suppressor companies come and go. Dead Air can't seem to keep a damn thing in stock as far as adapters for different thread pitches go. So if everything I had was hub, it doesn't matter what it is. I'll always be able to somehow figure out a mounting solution. So if I could do it all over again, for sure, I would standardize on hub. No doubt.
Yeah.
I will tell you that CMMG just started making their own cans July 1st. Is that right? Yeah, July 1st. And they have a 36K can that will suppress everything from a 9mm all the way down. So 9mm, 308, 6.5 Creedmoor, 5.56, 300 Blackout, 7.62 by 39, the whole smorgasbord. Now, it is a quote unquote K can, but it's like $550, you know, so
it's something.
Yeah. And I will say there's some pros and cons. It's not the most new technology. It's not a low back pressure or a flow through can, as a lot of people will say. So it may be a little gassy, but it's inexpensive and you can use it on everything.
Yeah. So I do have a question for both of you guys. I don't have, aside from the Putnik, I don't have a dedicated flow through can. And I do have my X95 and it's extra gassy. What do you guys think is the best flow through can out on the market right now, or that you guys have?
I know what I think it is, Mark. Do you have an answer?
The Zvuk.
Ah, Hey, do we get extra money for?
Exactly.
That was not going to be my answer. You just failed the shield test. I was going to say the Huxworks vent.
Oh,
It vent well. It's less back pressure than the Zvuk. The Zvuk, I shot it on a bunch of different guns.
Mhm.
Guns that had, in my opinion, a little bit lighter recoil with the Putnik. The 53, the roller gun, was the only one that to me felt like it had less recoil than shooting it with the Putnik. But to me, the Putnik still had a softer recoil impulse on the AKs than the Zvuk did. So even though it's low back pressure, it's not like flow through like the Huxworks is. So the Huxworks is going to be a little bit louder. But I think for pure recoil impulse, your overgassed Tavor, and they're lightweight. They're 3D printed. I believe correct me in the comments, pretty sure they're titanium mesh 3D printed, I think. I held them at SHOT Show. They're super lightweight. The technology's cool. We were at a range day one time when I shot their 30 cal on a very overgassed 308 Galil Ace, and it felt like a normal shooting gun with a muzzle brake on it. I was pretty impressed with how much gas it tamed.
So you don't have one though to try?
Don't have one. Tried it, held them, but haven't spent a lot of time with them.
Have you tried the new Sandman X? Is that one flow through?
Mm-hmm.
It is.
It's a low back pressure.
Low back, so kind of like the Zvuk.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's got the mesh 3D printed, the purposely induced porosity that everyone like. Who's the one that really made that famous? PTR.
Yeah, that's who I was getting ready to bring up.
I thought it was Fudge Bob.
PTR, their 5.56 can they had at Clash Bash. That thing was as about as hearing safe as you could get for a 5.56.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, I just want something for the Tavor that's flow through. That's like the one can. I want to make sure it's 30 cal also, but because that thing smokes you out so bad.
The Triskelion baffles, they were telling us at the Desert Roof, we were like, I think we were drinking because they were doing happy hour, and we kept calling it the Triceratops internals.
The Triceratops? Huh.
Yeah.
Hey, it's time for a drink, guys.
It's time for a drink. Boop. All right. Well, there's a real spicy topic I'm kind of waiting to get on. So let's knock out a couple before we get to that one. Goals is happening this weekend.
You said something about the gun show. I got to say this about goals. This is hilarious.
Okay.
Go ahead. You go ahead and start, and then when you're ready, I'll jump in there.
Alex, we're going to get to that, I promise. Nothing too crazy. So typically, like when SHOT Show is happening, like the first hour the doors open, YouTube is flooded. Like people, this dude was on a freaking mission. Like right to the booth, film it, right to the media room, edit it, upload it. Like you got to be first. So I guess the point is when there's ever some trade show, you notice on YouTube. I haven't seen a damn thing from any channel that I subscribe to showing anything at Goals. It's Sunday night. I haven't seen anything.
Nope.
There was one thing that I saw that was shared. Let me pull this up from a company that I've really grown to just freaking love and admire how batshit crazy they are. Here it is. Stuffing Things.
Oh yeah.
Teased a kit for crinks to basically make it into a Groza. So I'm sure most people in the comments know it's been in video games. There's clandestine pictures of Groza things in Russia. Like, I don't know if it was ever really a thing and got filtered all that much, but there's really cool pictures of this thing called the Groza. They made a really cool, let me pause that. They made a really cool kit. I'm sure that's a PSA 556 AK. And it's even got a little butt plate on it. It's got the forward grip. It's got the little trigger guard. It's got the cool carry handle iron sights. It's pretty freaking cool. And that's like the only thing that caught my attention from Goals. That's it. I don't even know if I saw anything else from Goals, but the one thing I did see I thought was pretty cool from Stuffing Things. Pretty neato.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. The only thing that I've seen two things from goals. One is Mr. Guns and Gear. His flight was delayed for some reason, and then next thing he knows, there's like some fire trucks around his plane. So he's like, "This is suboptimal."
Yeah.
And then one other thing that I'll bring up here in just a second. But outside of this is like the coolest thing that I've seen. So, yeah.
I think it's pretty damn cool. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, if it's like super real or not, but I thought that was pretty cool.
You
Other
know,
than that,
I feel like when Stuff and Things put something together, they're going to put it out. You know, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Everything that they've showcased, they've put out.
this was badass. They had this at Kalash Bash, that 22 Magnum. I think they've got it on multiple different like chassis for stocks. It's that was probably one of the most talked about guns at KB that I saw next to the Stenzel. Was the, I don't even know what they call this thing, the P50.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, pretty cool. I've actually got one of their 9mm Bison kits that I have not shot. I've got it installed and everything, just haven't shot it yet. But, and dude, just really cool dudes in general. These dudes were not on my radar for the longest time until we started talking KB, and they're just really fun dudes to be around, and they've got some crazy ideas. And they, like you said, they've pretty much made everything they've ever teased that I've seen.
100%. Yep. Brandon Herrera came out and said that he's going to run for Congress again. That's the other news. But the only other big news that I saw was from Micah Mayfield, and he was pointing out that Rare Breed was handing out cease and desist letters to people for their FRTs.
That's right. So we should talk about that for just a second. We talked about it off stream. I just had this conversation with Jacob at Gun Quality Enforcement because I saw so many people selling FRTs at this huge gun show.
Yeah.
Like, you could throw a rock in any direction and hit an FRT table. Like, they were everywhere. So someone in the comments, correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I understand, the way the whole lawsuit worked out with Rare Breed, everything was dropped, but the understanding that was met was Rare Breed could continue to produce and make his forced reset thing, and he has a patent for it. So the ATF basically said, all right, well, here's what we're going to do. You've got a patent for this thing, so we're going to allow you to continue to make this thing. We strongly advise you to enforce your patent and to make sure that no one else is infringing on your patent. And I don't think, again, not an attorney, someone let me know in the comments, even if someone has a forced reset, whatever, even if it is not infringing on his mechanical patent, how his is made, he can still hit them with a cease and desist because he basically now has like a monopoly on just the forced reset thing as a whole. Is why he's going after Super Safe, which is Crossbolt, Atrius, things that are not even in the same realm as the same mechanism that he has. But it sounds like the ATF has just given him carte blanche to just fully enforced a basic monopoly on the FRT game, and he is going balls to the wall. Am I wrong? But that's the way I understand it. I'm sure the chat will let me know if I'm wrong.
For the most part, you are right. The problem is that there are two different patents. There's a patent number like 223 and patent 241, and he has been granted basically a settlement on his patent, which is, I think, it is one of the two patents, but he's now going after anyone making anything for both patents. And so that is going to be where the legal fight is going to be had. Atrius has made a very long Instagram reel about where they stand and what they're doing. They've been hit with a cease and desist, and we're like, they're pulling the Wolf of Wall Street. I ain't fucking leaving. So they're going to fight them in court over it. So we'll see how that plans out. But yeah, for the most part, you're pretty much right.
So listen to this. My man says, I think if he wants to do C&D letters, that's his right. Doing it at a trade show is just such a loser move, especially for an event held by a gun rights org. So yeah, even if he's well within his right, even though it might be easy, like, hey, all the fish are in one bucket, let's just go shoot them all in one bucket while we're here. Optics, that's such a bad move. Even though, so James Reeves has a really good video with the owner of Rare Breed, and he's pretty honest when he says, hey, look, I'm the one that lost millions of dollars in a 4-year-long lawsuit. I'm the one that suffered through that. I'm the one that kind of won this thing. So I'll take whatever I can get at this point. I got to go back to normal life and do what I got to do for my business. So that's the way he put it in that video. So I'm sure that's what he's doing. But yes, I agree. Doing it at the trade show is definitely a very bad move. And just morally overall, you got to ask yourself, is it the right thing to do? Even if legally it is the right thing he should do, since he suffered for 4 years losing money in a lawsuit.
Sure. But the thing about it is he doesn't have to. That's the point, right? He's obligated to do his due diligence, but if he doesn't know about it, then what's the point, right? Especially if his is for one certain patent. Why is he going after the other patent as well? And ultimately, what it seems to me is that he's doing that to recoup all of the money that he lost while he was going through those lawsuits. And
my thoughts exactly.
And here's the thing. I do feel for him when it comes to that whole aspect of it. But at the same time, like you said, there's better ways to handle it. And by the way, he didn't win. He didn't win that lawsuit. He settled. Right. So. Right.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be hard for him to enforce. Like you mentioned, Clay, you went to a gun show this weekend and there's FRTs, whichever way you can throw a rock. Like, how's he going to enforce all the little mom and pop shops that are.
Every skinny college kid with a vape pen was selling FRTs at this trade show.
Yeah.
Hand over fist, had a line.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe he's going to local spots where he lives, and that's probably the area that he's mainly targeting, right? But he's not traveling around the country to all these trade shows, gun shows, and enforcing that. So I just think it's probably localized to his area. I don't know where he's from, but I'm just thinking.
Go to goals and catch them all. Catch them all in one place. I won't name names, but there was I shouldn't even say this. There was a vendor at KB, I think, might have handed out a couple to a couple other vendors. Didn't know about it at the time, but I think that happened.
Was it the neck-bearded hipster juice?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
Sandbox Grenade tips $5. He says, shouldn't have done it for the betterment of everyone, not just himself. I feel like that's how most freedom-loving Americans feel about the laws. Yeah. So, Mark, like you said, he can just say, hey, you know what, ATF, I don't know any of this other stuff's going on. I'm just going to do me and make my stuff. He doesn't really have to go after them. And like you're saying, Rodrigo, in the grand scheme of things, there's going to be 1,000 people making FRTs and selling them with little local LLCs. You can't get them all. I still think if Rare Breed just went into business for himself, his triggers are going to sell hand over fist. They're nice. They're 3-position. They work really good. So I'm told one of the only nice 3-position cassette styles. I think he'd make his money back and people would still be raw Rare Breed if he just didn't pull a move like that.
And I've got 3 different ones. I actually was able to acquire a WOT, wide open trigger. I've got the Atrius and a Super Safety, and I haven't tried the WOT yet, but the Super Safety is awesome. It worked well on the red right hand upper, and I didn't have any issues out of it whatsoever. I know that Joe from Firearm Freedom, he's had some issues with his FRTs, but mine worked great so far. But I will say that crossboat style safety mechanism is, man, I don't know if I like it. because there's a couple times just having it up against my body, I accidentally put it on to, fire, regardless if it was semi or super safe. So
Yeah, I think the Atrius is pretty cool. I like the regular lever with the 3 position. I think that's pretty tight.
And if I remember correctly, I'll have to break them open and look again, but the Atrius and the super safety are basically the same. It's just the geometry of how the trigger works. Instead of it moving back and forth to move that hook, you've got a rotation mechanism that then moves it. So, yeah.
Hey, speaking of forced resets and all that, our buddies Plinkify were at this massive. I'm in Texas. I'm sure you guys remember all the Plinkify Empire trigger stuff. That dude's also in Texas, so I can't go to any freaking gun shows without seeing these guys anytime they rebrand themselves. So I just went to the largest gun show in Texas, and there were like 5 booths, Plinkify booths, all with like 3 to 4 employees. So be curious to hear. I understand little birdie tells me that Alex might be reaching out to Jacob to give him some PowerPoint, some proof on how he made everyone whole and become a very good boy. Hasn't happened yet, but who knows? All I can tell you is there had to be 25 dudes wearing Plinkify shirts and hats selling the triggers on various booths at this place. Just thought that was bizarre that it's still going on. So I'm curious to hear what's going to happen with all that as well. Yes, that is Alex. Joe Little tips 20. Way too much, man, but thank you. Pick up a Zastava M90 from my local FFL. Absolutely floored on quality. Though there's the Lemonade guy that poo-poo on them. Yeah, our good buddy Brad. At this point, I think, you know what? I think Brad is just playing the role at this point. I think Brad actually likes Zastava, but he's got an audience. He has an audience to appease. People love him for hating on Zastava. He's got to keep playing that role. I think deep down, he's got a soft spot. I think he's fully come around. He'll never publicly admit it, but that's what I think is really going on.
He's probably cashing them checks too.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, I can tell you that my go-to competition rifle, regardless of what competition it is, if it's a 2-gun of any sort or even just a rifle competition, the M90 is probably going to be what I go for 100% of the time. It's just because I've had so many rounds through it. I have it dialed in. I know that it's going to be freaking awesome. The M85, I see someone said that M85 is greater than the M90. Yeah. Don't put a brake on it, because you'll end up with a concussion by the time you get done shooting a stage.
Don't listen to Mark. Put a brake on it.
Put the biggest brake ever on it.
It needs an unrivaled brake.
That's right. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm doing. Clash Bash for next year. I'm going to take my M85 and I'm going to put an unrivaled on it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the RLs are going to love you.
Or put a Zvuk on it. Every time you buy a Zvuk and you drop my name, I get $10.
Damn. I need to get on that bandwagon. So they're changing it to Zvuk? S-Vuk?
Oh, we didn't even talk about that. I don't even know if that's a secret. So, yeah. Dude, even Silencer Shop today just launched a YouTube video talking about the new can, because I guess they're dealing it. And they don't even, in their title, it's the Zastava Vuk. But basically what had happened was PSA already has something called the Vuk. That's their AK-12, AKS-51, whatever it's called. Their clone of that weird Russian prototype. Anywho, PSA on their website deals Zastava stuff, so they have like a good working relationship. Well, PSA trademarked the names Vuk a little bit before Zastava did. So when Zastava starts showing this can off at SHOT Show, PSA was like, hey, man, we technically trademarked the name first, and we sell a lot of your guns, so we should play nice on this one. So Zastava was like, all right, we'll put a Z in front of it. And that's basically what had happened.
Gotcha. Yeah. So I will say, can I say something real quick that you brought up PSA? So going to SHOT Show last year, they had a laundry list of things that were going to come out, right? So that VOOC is not going to make it out this year, I don't think. They've been slowly through the months, up to the every month it seems like they say, "Hey, here's where we are on this project," right? And so like they just said that the 5.7 one, that one's probably not going to come out this year, right? So they just said that one's going to come out later. So does that kind of like, I know for you two guys, because when SHOT Show comes around, you're ready to go to PSA, the first booth, right? Is it kind of a drag that like certain things you're going to see them again, and they're going to go through the whole spiel again with like, oh, this is the VOOC and it's coming up this year?
I think between now and then, something else will pop up. It'll pop up like late December, early January, weeks before. There's going to be something. They're going to have some milkshake to bring all the YouTubers to the yard, all the boys to the yard, because they know.
They know.
What PSA knows is that excuse my French, every swinging dick that goes to SHOT Show with a YouTube channel knows if they go to PSA and they film it, there's so many people that are interested with what they're doing. Those videos are going to get a butt ton of views. So if they come up with something really nice and shiny and new right beforehand to give people a reason, their booth gets freaking flooded the first hour of SHOT Show. So I promise you, there's a couple things they haven't said a peep about. You'll hear about mid-January.
I gotcha.
Yeah, Wisconsin Firearms was asking about the MP5. The MP5 is shelved indefinitely. That will never see the light of day. So, and that comes from PSA. I got that information from PSA. So,
was there a semi-auto 50? I don't remember that.
Yeah, there was a semi-auto 50.
Yep, they had
a come out. Yeah, they also had a 2011. I don't think it's out yet. They had a 2011 they were working on, the VOOC, the 57, which is the MP7 clone.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll have like a handful of stuff that we saw already that they're gonna be like, oh, this is coming out this year.
But it's gold now.
Now it's gold.
Yeah. It will be interesting to see what happens with SHOT Show of 2026, because I've started to see more and more YouTube video content creators talk about the if I could even talk, my goodness,
spit it out.
I know, right? The Trump slump 2.0. I mean, how many Hop, he just did a video about it, talking about how Anderson is no longer with us. You know, they died along with Delton. They're gone this year too. So it'll be interesting to see what companies actually do while they're trudging through the slump.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I think I'm going back to SHOT Show this year. I just thought it was. I just wanted to put it out there for you guys, because you guys have been to quite a few, so you've probably already gone through that cycle of like, that I've already seen that last year. So for me, it was my first time. So now I'm going back, and I'm like, man, you know, how much emphasis do you really put on some of the stuff where you're like, you already know it's what did you call it, Clay? Vaporware?
Yeah. They got to give all these YouTubers a reason to come to their booth. Everyone's going to have some vaporware that ain't coming out. Like, I hope S&T Motive is not one of them, but everyone's got vaporware to bring you to the booth. Something shiny and new, something that's like, oh my God, of course someone needs to make this. But, okay, so a comment from Limp Biscuiteer. Did they announce an SVD possibly back in 2020?
They did.
Yes, they did.
Wow, I don't remember that at all.
Yeah, I remember the big, they had a long one that was, oh man, was it an SVD? They had one, they didn't let you touch it at all. But if you went over to DSR, you could touch it over there. The DS Arms place. Is that the one we're talking about?
No, that's you're talking about the FAL.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Did they ever bust that out? I don't think they did.
No, again, vaporware, dude. That's just something that was one of the big guns they were talking about. Honestly, I think they just got DSA to build one of Jamin's dream guns, and then they said we might make a small batch. That's probably never going to happen. Big Slinking says Zastava always have about less than 0 QC. Only good one I ever got was the M92. All the rest have always had poor assembly of the rivet on the mag release, usually Have not bought one in over 15 years. Well, the only thing I will say about that, 15 years ago, that was back when Century was importing them. And there's a reason why Zastava got the hell away from Century. There's a reason why people did not like Zastava. Dude, I didn't like Zastavas back then. You'll still come across some old Century imported OPAPs and NPAPs. I forget which one of those is the bad one. Those were not great. I never saw one that I liked. And I think Robsky even had one completely shit the bed in one of his 5,000 round torture tests. But there's a reason why Century doesn't do it anymore. I'm not saying that doesn't happen now. I'm just saying I bought a lot of them, and they're paying me. So I kind of have to say that's good now. But I have bought a lot of them, and they've been great.
Hey, Clay, what is it called when it doesn't have the bulge? What is that receiver called when it doesn't have the bulge in it?
I can't remember the difference between OPAP and NPAP. One of those had the slick side receiver.
Okay, slick, yeah. So I have my first one is a ZPAP. It's a M92, and it doesn't have the reinforced receiver.
Which was a change that they made in Zastava USA anyway. They made that change. It was a rolling change in 2020.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah, everything's got the bulge. Everything's getting cheeked up.
Oh, I'm getting cheeked up right now.
Everything's plump now.
From a standpoint, historically, when it comes to actual like Zastava military weapons, the M70B1 was the slick side, and then they went to the B2, which was going to be the RPK style bulged trunnion with the 1.5 millimeter receiver. The B1 had the 1 millimeter receiver, which is exactly what my first M70 that I purchased in 2019. My very first video I ever did was a slick side, and I kept on getting comments. It's like, oh no, you don't have a Zastava that's they have the bulge trunnion now, and it has chrome line barrel. And I'm like, guys, watch the video. It is a ZPAP, and it's before they started doing the actual like AB2 style rifles.
Dad's saying I actually had an M92 that this happened to back in the day. Slick side M92. I probably bought this thing in like 2016. My NPAP back in 2015 had soft metal, was peened real bad. Sold it to a dumb boomer to get a standard pattern AK. Mine actually egged out the trigger pin holes. Receiver. So people say soft receivers. It definitely was a problem at one time. No doubt about it. And I almost SBR'd that damn thing. I SBR'd it, and I screwed up on something, so they kicked the paperwork back. So I said, screw up, not going to worry about it. This was back when it took a year. Shot it for a long time, and then my trigger pin started to walk in the holes. So
hey, so I will say something here to anyone that has SBR'd something. You can deregister your SBR, so it's free. It's free. You just have to send a letter in and say, hey, I don't want this to be an SBR anymore. And if you didn't engrave it, that's even better. And it can then you can get rid of it, and it's a free service. I always thought the same thing. I was like, oh man, I already registered this. It's in my name. But after I found out that you could do that, I've deregistered a couple of SPRs to sell off because I'm like, I don't need these anymore.
Yep.
Oh yeah, the Pindad FNCs. Nothing ever happened with that. That was a milkshake. That got Ian over there from Forgotten Weapons real quick. For sure.
What was that?
Remember the company Pindad? They were SHOT Show maybe 2 years ago. They had FNCs up on the wall that they were producing in some other country on like former tooling, and then that never materialized. But I remember everyone was talking about it.
Yeah. I did see a question from Doc. He said, question on WBP AKs.
Hold on, let me find it. I'm like still way back in the chat.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's not too far back. Opinion of WBP ?
Well, go ahead and give us your opinion about WBP.
I don't know if I'm equipped to answer that because I don't have any of them, but what I have heard, so this is hearsay, is if you buy a WBP, make sure you buy a whole bunch of firing pins. Outside of that, they're commercial grade AKs. They'll do okay, but they may have some issues. So
Yeah, unfortunately. Ooh, that's a great, you know what? That's a great pivot into our next topic. Unfortunately, just seems like 5.56 AKs just continue to plague the people that want to make them. So, Rodrigo,
Oh,
we well, I don't know if Rachel's watching. Rachel, can I get another beer? I don't know if you're watching.
can I get another? I'm thirsty. My lips
Let me
are thirsty.
let me yell at her real quick.
Hey, it looks like they left me alone with you guys. Ooh, it's time for a drink.
Have
Time
another
for a
beer.
Modelo.
Thanks, babe. I love you so much. Thank you.
Ah,
Okay, so a little while ago, I actually got another one of those Pioneer Arms forged Sporter 5.56 AKs, this time with a fixed stock. And if you roll the timeline back, I actually bought one of those last year, an underfolder from some no-name company, I think out of Florida. They had some discount code going on. A guy hit me up on Facebook, gave me the code worked, got it for like $560. And I figured, what a great content machine this is going to be. This thing's going to blow up on camera. It's going to be awesome. Anyway, did an unboxing, film it. It got crazy. My channel's fairly small. It was even smaller back then. Got crazy views, and ended up having like a couple of feeding problems here and there. Was a little picky with mags, but ultimately did fine. And then we post sampled it, shot it, and that thing still shoots to this day, but it started popping firing pins, but it never blew the barrel. Anyway, color me impressed for a gun that I paid $560 for, especially when Reddit and everyone else told me, number one, I should jump off a bridge for even buying the damn thing, and that I was crazy and I was shilling for it or whatever. Like, I literally bought it because I thought the content would be hilarious and I wanted to get a gun going down on camera. Just didn't really happen. Fast forward, Pioneer Arms goes out of business. Well, kind of. They fired everyone here stateside and they shut down for a while. And then they sort of wake back up and they start producing guns again. They hit me up and they said, we want to actually send you one this time. Let us know what you think. All right, bet. And I specifically asked about their firing pins, and they're like, shouldn't be a problem anymore. All right, cool. They even sent me a bag of firing pins with it, which I thought was kind of a bad sign. Interesting. You tell me they're okay, then you send a whole bag of them.
Yeah.
Anyway, so man, I take it to the range. I literally in one day, I don't know the last time I've done that, had a box, 1,000 rounds of PMC 5.56 blasted all day. I didn't even have a single jam. It was kind of a drain pipe out to distance. It wasn't super accurate, but my muzzle device got loose. Anyway, I digress. So what I wanted to do with that gun, since it was free to me, I wanted to dump 1,000 rounds, paint it, do whatever. I was going to let Rodrigo take it. I said, here's the deal. You got to paint it and then do another 1,000 rounds. And if it survived, we were going to send it to Mark, the other fellow shill gilder. He was going to paint it and do another 1,000 rounds. And I thought it'd be cool for it to go through a bunch of people's hands, people that had no reason to say anything good about it, and just pump ammo through it just to see. I thought it would help them out with content, and it would just be cool to see how long can this cheap gun go. And then it didn't make it past Rodrigo. I don't know if anyone's missed it, but Rodrigo got the gun, brought 1,000 rounds to the range, put his own paint job on it. In fact, I think I have a picture. I got a picture of the gun here. He did this cool silver paint job with like a pearlescent furniture set, and he did this Lieutenant Dangle thing. I don't know if you guys saw that, but did his own paint job on it. And well, do you want to walk us through how the gun started initially and kind of what ended up happening?
Yeah. Clay, I can take it from here, Clay. Okay. All right. So let me rewind a little bit. I wanted to make sure that we captured all the rounds that were shot through it, through the rifle. So we had a range day before I did my filming, and somebody was out there because they were like, "Oh, is the rifle that Clay said was really good?" It was JT. So JT was like, "Oh, I'm thinking about buying one of these." It made it, Clay said it was really good. So JT shot the first 30 rounds out of it, and I was like, "Oh, let me record it just in case this thing dies in the, within those 30 rounds." So he shot it, no problem, right? So then I took it home. I sanded it down, painted it. I was trying to do a paint job like the boots. I was trying to go with the ostrich boots, so that's why it's white and silver. It was supposed to match my outfit, and so yeah, I told I didn't have 1,000 rounds on hand, so I asked Mike. Mike's in the video there. I asked Mike, "Hey Mike, can I just send you some ammo and you bring some of your own?" And he goes, "Yeah, a ton of wolf ammo, steel case ammo that I need to shoot." So I was like, "Well, let's shoot the steel case ammo, and then I'll just bring 500 rounds of brass case." So I went to Academy. I bought Monarch 223 and Monarch 556 183 ammo, and I took that out there with us. And Mike said, "Hey, let's start shooting the steel case first because I really need to get rid of this. It was just loose in his ammo bin." So we didn't have any issues at all with the steel case at the very beginning of the video. And then I could tell he was getting tired, so I was like, "Hey, let me take some shots with it." So I decided to use the Monarch 556, and I started taking some shots, and I started having failure to extract, so it would not extract the round. And I was like, "Oh man," I had a series of like 5 instances where it wouldn't extract the round, and I was like, "Man, what is it? Is it just the ammo?" So then I switched over to the brass case 223, and I started having the same issues. It would not extract the round, and then there would be one stuck like trying to get into the chamber. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe it's just ammo related. So we went back to the steel case, and what we started noticing was, and you'll probably see in this video, but we started noticing that Mike was having to push the action forward a lot. So he start at about the 350 round mark on that day. He started having to push the action a lot. So he would rack it, and it would get hung. It would get hung up, and then he would just instinctively just push it forward. And we didn't know anything. We chalked it up to my paint job. We started saying, "Well, maybe it's my paint. Maybe I put too much paint on this damn thing," right? So that's what we thought was happening.
Stove pipe, is that what that was?
Yeah, stovepipe action. Yeah, so we're sitting there, and we're chugging along, and we just keep noticing that it's starting to get more
Seven
permanent.
failures.
7 failures at this point, yeah. And he's starting to have to push the bolt forward quite a bit more, and we're like, "Man, what the hell's going on?" So we keep going, and we keep filming this masterpiece, and then we get a new director. So the video takes a turn when we get the new director, and it's amazing. and and so what happens is in Clay's video, if you guys remember, he started having mushrooming on the tang right in the back. And so at one point in the video, Clay was like, "Well, maybe the tang is starting to mushroom so much that it's getting hung up to the back," right? So that's what we thought it was. And then it turns out that's not what it was. So it was a fun range day. I was having a ton of fun. It's unfortunate that it didn't make it through another 1,000 rounds. Honestly, we could have probably stopped it at like, I would say 600 rounds. We probably could have stopped it. We were having so many issues with it.
So, like you said, the bolt every now and again would get just stuck in the rear, and he would have to start hitting it forward.
Yep.
And it was getting the occasional failure to extract. So the way that it was getting stuck in the rear, I thought was weird, because I was thinking, man, is it getting stuck on like the hammer face? Is the hammer face getting rough? Like, what's going on? So my instant gut reaction was, okay, the tail on that thing must have mushroomed so much it's getting locked to the rear, which is ultimately what can happen if you have an AK and the tang mushrooms enough. It can get locked in the rear of the trunnion. It happened to Jeff Gerwich when he blew the lid off his M90 that was mushrooming so bad that it would lock his carriage to the rear. So I thought, okay, that's what's happening. Then we go open it up, and I saw something I've literally never seen on an AK ever. And I got pictures of it.
Yeah. And
So
I hadn't seen it either, so this was a first for me. I think Mike, you said Mike noticed it, right? Mike was like, "Whoa, look at that!"
well, we saw a shiny spot on the rail, so we took the dust cover off, and I thought, man, like it looks like what we ended up deducing was the carrier was jumping the rails. I think most people in the chat have shot an AK where every now and again the carrier will jump the rail in the back. Some AKs, it's prone. This is why AK manufacturers came up with that little buffer that they would put on your recoil rod to keep carriers from jumping rails. That's the whole reason that buffer is a thing, to keep it from slamming into the back and jumping the rail. Anyway, we saw metal movement, at least shiny spots on the very back of the rails, right where the rails end, where you then pop your carrier up to disassemble. Then we wiped the soot off of it, the carbon, and we saw that the carrier was actually jumping the rail so much that it ripped the receiver. It was actually physically tearing the receiver. The whole rail was peeling away. And
it was ripping at a new butthole.
It was making a new butthole. And it even looks like the receiver might be bulging a little bit right there. You guys can see that there. I've never seen a receiver crack like that in that spot. That's a new one for me.
Yep. And that was a comment when I watched your video. I was commenting to my girlfriend that that is one of the little tricks that Jim Fuller taught me when I went and built my AK-47 or 74 with him, is that little piece on all of Jim's receivers. When you purchase one from Childers, that little cutout is undersized, and you will actually go in and kind of Dremel that out. What Jim does is he keeps one side somewhat undersized and the other one is just enough to fit the carrier into it, so it doesn't allow that to happen. And so that tells me that that receiver, I don't know if it's something just inherent with their manufacturing process or what, but that receiver cutout is probably just a little too large, which is causing that to pop out. So
I know people in the comments are asking, Possum asks, is the trunnion, anything wrong with the rear trunnion, front trunnion? I even took the gun. I took the gun back. Pioneer, they want it back. They want to take a look at it. I looked it over and I didn't see anything wrong with the bolt, the carrier, front or rear trunnion. I didn't see any problems with that at all. But it sure looked, if you were to look down the receiver, right where that tear is, it's almost like in your video, Rodrigo, you mic'd it. You put calipers and slid it all the way down.
Yeah, there was definitely a bulge.
It's not a lot, but the receiver definitely gets a little bit wider and comes back right around that spot. So,
yeah,
you know, has it always been like that? I don't know. But what was so interesting is when I had it, I shot 1,000 rounds of 5.56. So we were talking about this, and I'm like, man, it sure seems like the gun really started to have a problem when he got away from the steel case 223 and went into that Monarch 5.56, which was definitely hotter. Yeah. But the box is plastered. It says 5.56 only. It says it all over the box. It doesn't say don't use ammo that's too hot. It doesn't say anything about that. It just says use 5.56. It just seems like, I don't know if it was a combination of the 5.56 with the can, but man, that carrier had some speed. And when it would jump the rails enough, it freaking tore the receiver. That's the only thing we can come up with as to why that happened. And
we only did 4 magazines. We only did 4 magazines suppressed. Those were at the VTAC. We put the on when we went to the VTAC and we had those 4 mags. That was the only time we suppressed it. So I think that's what caved it in. The added back pressure and the hot ammo.
What I'll say is I asked Jacob about his 7.62 Pioneer, and he says that he's had 0 issues with his. Now,
that's the thing, man.
It's 7.62 though.
Like, do you hear about, not to bring up PSA again, but when you hear about all the problems with PSA AKs, do you so much hear about it with their 7.62s, or is it with the smaller, higher pressured rounds, their 5.45 AKs, their 5.56? From my perspective, I hear way more about 5.56 and 5.45 PSA AKs going down than the 7.62s. Even the Rileys, I don't ever hear about the Riley 7.62s having a lot of problems. And with the Pioneers, it seems like they've got 7.62. It seems like everyone has got 7.62 for the most part figured out. It's much lower pressured. It's a very slow moving round. Just seems like everyone just can't quite seem to nail the 5.56 AK just yet. That's like across the board. Firing pins, this, just blatant issues with the PSAs. It just seems to be a thing.
Yeah.
It's not everyone. I mean, there's SLR 106s. Like there are the barils. There are definitely countries that have nailed it. It just seems like it's the commercial market stuff. The Pioneers, the PSAs, the WBPs, those seem to be the ones that still have growing pains.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think with that AK, I think if I'm not mistaken, you shot it in your video. I would say what, half of the video was suppressed, Clay.
Yeah, at least half. Yeah.
Yeah. So you put a good beating on it. So maybe if you combine your suppressed with my suppressed, it's what, maybe 700 rounds that did it in. I don't know. Maybe you just needed to go a little bit longer, and then you would have had issues on your side.
Maybe. Yeah, and it's a bummer. I mean, the number one comment I get on everything I ever review is like every video, whether it's an AK, some other rifle, a suppressor, whatever. The number one comment is, "Oh my God, it's so expensive." That's all I ever hear about this hobby. It's so expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I know it is. It's a very expensive hobby. So why would you not want these Rileys, these PSAs, the Zastavas, like all these brands that are somewhat affordable? Why would you not want them to succeed? Because AKs have gotten so freakishly expensive. Why would you wish failure on any of these companies? Imagine being a young person today, making no money in today's economy and really liking AKs. There you have no options, really none. You don't have any options below $1,000 that I can say you'll have no problems with it. None.
Yep.
So,
I mean,
it's not a good thing that this happened. Definitely not.
Yeah, and the thing too is, you've got an Arsenal Sam 5. So I've got an Arsenal Sam 5. Clay and I did a collaboration video on kind of pimping out my Sam 5, and I now have so much money dumped into that thing. I would never get anywhere close to that money back. Even if I was able to sell it for $2,000 right now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. I'm out probably $600-700 at this point. So,
Yeah, a friend of mine recently asked me. He's like, "Hey, you got any 5.56 AKs you want to sell?" And I was like, "Man, you know, because I've put so much money into them. Like my M90, I paid to get it chopped because it was too freaking long. So that's already, I can't sell that. I can't add that cost back into it. So it's like that's mine forever."
Yeah, you got to be a hustler to be into AKs, and to truly be able to enjoy it, you have to hustle. Sorry, I've been avoiding this comment. Not avoiding it, but I just saw it. Shocker Shooter tips $5. He says, "So do I need to buy Mark a phones or no?"
he meant Pioneer.
Oh, okay.
He's had a few to drink. Shocker Shooter is somewhat of my executive producer, as it were.
Oh. Well, maybe someone needs to buy him a phones with better autocorrect. Okay.
While we're on this subject,
Damn
I
it,
did
Pioneer.
have somebody reach out to me, Clay, and he said that his barrel broke the firing pin after 600 rounds. His firing pin broke, and so I still have the firing pin that you gave me with the Pioneer. I think I'm gonna send it to him if it works.
Should work.
It should work.
I mean, I don't know if the quality is the same as an FB firing pin, but the geometry should work. It should at least fit in the bolt.
Yeah, because I think I kept it. I don't think I gave it back to you. So I was gonna send it to him, but I just want to let you know.
I got 3 more in the bag. I've even had another guy reach out on Facebook. He's like, "Can I please buy one of those freaking pins?" I'm like, "I'll send you one, dude. I don't need all of them." Because they can't get them. You can't find them.
Yeah, this guy said he can't find it. He was like, "Man, 600 rounds? That's crazy." He sent me pics and everything. So,
And that was my next question is, I've got my barrel. If I bust the firing pin, where do I get a replacement? Am I just out of luck?
Clayco 47.
Oh yeah, they tested a gun that wasn't suppressed. There's a response. Yeah, so Pioneer, to bring that whole story home, we both thought it was only right to reach out to them and say, hey, here's how your gun failed. Here's what we were doing. Here's the ammo. Here's everything. So they literally went and pulled one off the rack, and they're telling us this. They pulled one off the rack, bought some hot 5.56 ammo, and just started dumping. But if I remember right, they couldn't find the same suppressor that you used to replicate that bit. Is that what it was?
They didn't have a suppressor at all.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't know if they ever ended up replicating the problem, but really hot 5.56 and a suppressor on that gun's probably what ended up killing it.
You know, check this out. I did have maybe a couple of days ago, I had somebody comment into my chat, and I think I posted this and sent it to you. And he said his Pioneer is doing the same thing. It's getting caught up in the back. And so
put a buffer in it now before it breaks the freaking receiver.
And so he said he was going to get back to me, but there has already been one person in the chat that had told me it's happening to his also.
Got it.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's like, what do? Do they just start throwing buffers in the guns, in the box? And they're like, the buffer is to be used if you run a suppressor with 5.56 ammo. Maybe that would be smart for them to do, because
I mean, it's a $3 part, right? The buffer, shit. And throw a firing pin in there also, just in case.
Yeah. Oh man, God, I'm sorry, I missed so many questions. I can't even keep up. Your Arsenal advisor. I watch your YouTube channel. I think I've told you that before. Very cool. I've actually got one of those rubber bumpers on my Arsenal because the damn rear trunnion is so beat up. Yeah, you must probably a Sam 5 that's overgassed. Probably got one of those. Might need to turn that gas down. I'm sure you've already thought of that, but that'll help out tremendously. Imp Simp, great name. Tips $2. Will Kyber ever bring back the M85, M92 peep sight? That's a good question. You know, I ask Tony all the time. That same M92 I talked about earlier that I eventually egged out the trigger pinholes, I put one of those peeps on it and loved it. Awesome upgrade for those guns. I don't know. He really should bring them back. I'll body shame him into it. That always works with Tony. Just body shame him. Oh my God, I missed so many questions. If y'all see questions that need to be hollered out, just holler.
All right. So just the ones that have dollar signs next to them, right?
Well, those are definitely priority for sure. Yeah, so, you know, Bad Element Co., dude, one of the freaking OGs. Not a lot of people know who Bad Element Co. is. When I first got into AK stuff on Instagram, 2015, 2016, if you didn't know who Bad Element Co. was, then you weren't really, like, in the know of AKs. My man has been modifying AK mags for the longest time. In fact, you guys see in my video all the time, I use that aluminum waffle mag anytime I'm shooting subsonic. Everyone's like, why would you destroy that beautiful mag? That's the guy. Talk to him about it, dude. He destroyed that beautiful mag. But he actually modified a 30-round mag that had been smashed, cut it into a 20-rounder, so now it can live on. So he has made so much cool shit over the years, and he's finally back, dude. In fact, I've got one of my Bakelite mags that pops up in a ton of videos has that Smoke 'em the Bear logo on it. So yeah, dude, Bad Element Co., one of the OGs of the AK world.
He's now got the gas tubes with I was just looking at it because Jacob just sent this to us in the DM group, and it's a little freaking
Isn't that cool?
lock open.
He's done some cool shit. He used to make these keychains that was an AK mag that would hold 1 round. Nick, do you remember that? I'm sure if you guys find it, he would literally cut an AK mag down to the freaking feed lips, put the base plate back on it, and you could snap in 1 round, and then you could hang it off your keychain. It was pretty cool. And it would work. You could lock it into an AK. Are buffers a thing again? Apparently, for Pioneer Arms, they should be.
Yeah, that would be an easy fix, I think. Just a buffer.
Yeah, Bad Element is the GOAT. Hell yeah. All right, I'm just going to scroll to the bottom. I'm like way behind. Yeah, man. Possum remembers. Pepperidge Farm remembers. Well, I had a lot of topics tonight, and damn it, boys, we've talked about freaking all of them.
Yeah.
Every single one of them.
Covered a lot.
Did we cover them all? Because I don't remember talking about the
my bad.
Stenzel.
I missed one. You're right. The
I was like,
Stenzel.
the Stenzel.
So, not to just gush about the Stenzel SK21, although I think it looks kind of neat. So, something that was, it's an interesting thing. I wanted to peel the curtain back a little bit. So, you guys probably noticed when I dropped that video, it was dropped like within a minute of Grantham dropping it. So, a lot of people assumed that we were under this like contract, or I think it's called, what is it called? Like a posting embargo.
An embargo. Yeah.
Not true. I know it looked like that. So the way that happened was Joe at Stenzel had actually reached out and said, hey, man, just letting you know, I'm sending Mike one of these things too. Grantham, have you heard of him? I'm like, I've heard of Mike. I know who he is. And he said, well, so I damn near had the video wrapped. I'd already had it filmed, wrapped. You know, Rodrigo was out there helping me film it. Had a bunch of other people helping me. All those people that you see in the video shooting the gun. Had the video damn near like wrapped up and done. So Grantham's got 4.4 million subs. You know, there's no way to compete with that. So he had actually told Stenzel that the only way he would review that thing, and I'm not under any kind of, I didn't sign anything, so I can say all this. The only way Grantham would even feature it on his channel is he had to be the first one on YouTube with it. I already had the damn thing. I was already filming it. So I'm like, damn, man, that's like, okay, whatever. He's got 4 million subs. I get it. You know, if I was in business selling guns too, I would love for my gun to show up on a massive channel. So I said, Joe, no sweat, dude. I'm just going to wait for him to post it and I'll be right behind him. Pretty sure he posts on Sundays. And he says, yeah. Well, then Grantham posted, hey, check out this new Stenzel video at whatever it was, like 11 o'clock this Sunday. I was like, oh, well, I'm just going to post then. That's literally all that was. I just didn't want to be late to the party, so I literally just waited. And as soon as I saw his video drop, I was like, boop, made it go live. And everyone thought that we were like told to do that. Nah, I just didn't want GT to get all the glory on that one. So I posted right after him. That's how that happened. And then the big pisser, that whole thing, I'm like literally watching the computer waiting for him to post. That the thing that just totally killed me. I post that video and YouTube tells me it's going to be like the biggest video of the year. I'm like, hell yeah, dude. Like I worked really hard on it and I had so much fun filming that thing. About an hour into it, I get freaking age restricted because I bump fired it in the video. And YouTube's like, you went full auto and you can't do that. So age restricted. Some people don't know when a video gets age restricted, you can still see it if you're subscribed. Most of you might not know this, but did you know that up to 60% of anyone's views come from channels that are not subscribed, most of which don't even have YouTube accounts? They just hop on YouTube and they just refuse to get one. So when you get age restricted, YouTube treats all of those as like their potential kids. So they can't watch anything that might be 18 and up. Well, if you got stuff that goes full turbo in your video, it's now 18 and up. So 60% of your views just go away. It killed the video dead in the water, which sucked. So that's why I uploaded it again. But man, talk about a freaking stressful day. Like just a bummer. But note to self, no more bump firing in videos because YouTube is freaking R-worded. They have no clue how to tell the difference. No matter how much you kick and scream and say, review it again. Look at the video again. It's not full auto. They send it to India. Some guy that knows nothing about firearms passes judgment on your video and says, I'm pretty sure it's full auto. And that's it. Video's dead in the water. So That's how all that happened. That's why YouTube is so maddening to deal with if you make gun content.
Yeah.
So yeah, moral of the story is we were not told to post at a certain time. I just tried to pull a fast one on old GT. That's all. And then Joe texted me afterwards. He's like, hey, I think Grantham wanted to be first by like 2 days. I was like, that'd have been good information to have a week ago. Sorry.
Oh my god.
Me no
Yeah.
sabro, me no sabe.
Me no speak English. Hey, you know what's funny is that was such a stressful week because I also got a strike on my channel for the Pioneer video. Apparently, my balls are they violate the weapons policy.
Mhm.
Oh, dude, I
Yes,
had
they
that in
do.
my notes. So tell the story, dude. That it's so funny.
So I post the video. If you guys don't know, in the background we have to upload multiple videos. We have to work the system, get a manual review to get the green dollar sign so that we can get monetized. So the video gets monetized. I'm like, yes, it's monetized. Good. And so I'm ready to go. The video's ready to go. And then I get a strike from YouTube. They're like, hey, we saw your video and you violated the weapons policy at the 23-second mark. So the 23-second mark is when at the beginning where I'm walking towards the
I better
intro
quit
of
it.
the
I'm
video.
gonna get a freaking strike if I keep showing.
Yeah, I'm walking towards the intro of the video, and then I put my foot up on the tank trap, and at 23 seconds, you see the first ball. You see the ball, the very first ball. Boom! They got me right there. They're like, "This is what got you a strike." And I already had a warning on the channel, guys. My warning expired on July 31st. So I had a warning, and that now I have a strike, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" And I'm thinking like, geez, this is gonna be crazy. So I appealed it. I'm like, because it's not a weapon, right? I was like, that's my ball. That's not a weapon violation. Yeah, huevos muy grandes, right? So when you go to appeal, it tells you, okay, explain yourself. Like, all right, YouTube, this is a fictional character that I'm portraying. This is a fictional character. This is for entertainment purposes only. And I also fast forward a lot in the video, so there may be some simulated rapid fire in the video. I just wanted all my bases, so I submit the appeal, and then I start going to town on the video, blurring out the balls everywhere. I'm like almost 3 hours deep into editing the video to cover up all the balls everywhere, and the
You missed one.
appeal. Yeah, I missed one. And the appeal comes back and I win it. I'm like, ah. But yeah, it's so there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. So I think we
Yeah,
can
it's
all
so
relate.
funny.
I
God, that
think
was funny.
if I'm not mistaken, I think Mark still has a warning from like 2 years ago or something.
Yeah, I was literally just looking at that. The warning came in on August 11th of last year.
Wow, that's
So,
crazy.
And
and
it's supposed to go away after like 6 months or a year.
it's supposed to go away after, I think it's 60 days.
Yeah.
Mm.
But the problem is, back in October, I was running into an issue. I ended up with 2 strikes, and one more, and I was getting ready to get booted. And it all had to do with my address being in the description of the video. So they thought that I was selling firearms, kind of
Oh
backdoor.
yeah, you had a link to your website on there.
Yeah. So I had to go through and scrub all of that type of stuff. But one of the strikes was for a video that was deleted. And if that video is deleted, you can't appeal or anything. And so talking with the people that I have, contacts with, they're like, yeah, I think there's a glitch in the system. That's why your warning is still up after a year. So we'll see what happens over the next couple of days. If in the next day or two, if it doesn't come down, I'm going to reach out to my contact and see, hey, but what's going on with this? This is still up a year later. So I need help here.
Yeah, that's just interesting. I just love that Rodrigo. I love that his balls violated the firearms policy.
Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
the
They're
first
spicy.
first time
There's
I've ever
some
heard that.
spicy meatballs.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Freaking awesome. Yeah, the ridiculous restrictions on vids is the reason guys like Focus Trip end up streaming 90% of the time. Yeah, but then, I don't know, some of you were here when our stream got pulled down for literally like I'm still kind of nervous just about like showing videos of people shooting guns, because when they pulled my live stream down, that's what it told me. It said, you cannot physically show someone moving or transporting or using firearms while you're on a live stream. And I'm like, okay, yeah, but I thought physically like me doing it. It dinged me for showing footage of someone doing it when I've been going live for 2 years at this point, showing shooting footage, and it's never been a problem. So I still don't even know if that's allowed or if it just still will tick the algorithm by mistake and you still have to pay the consequences. I have no idea. So yeah. Focus Trip definitely has found a niche where he doesn't really have to show a lot of the actual shooting, so the odds of his stream getting taken down are slim to none at this point if he doesn't show that, I assume. I don't think anyone truly knows exactly how to behave on YouTube when it comes to guns. There's still some stuff that's just gray. You just don't know.
And I think they're implementing a lot of AI that doesn't know how to handle our content at all.
Especially yours.
Especially
nudity and firearms.
Yeah, they're probably like, hell, dude, it'd be badass to shoot one of the balls live on the next YouTuber.
Oh yeah. Yep. YouTube can suck on thy nuts. I agree. Well, I've run out of topics to talk about, so I figured if we wanted to turn over and do a little Q&A in the chat, if anyone had any questions, we'll take like 10 minutes, and then we'll call the stream done for the night. I appreciate over 200 you guys have been watching the whole time. That's awesome. You guys are really interested in Rodrigo's balls, apparently. It's every time I showed that picture of your nuts, it would go up by like 50 people, and then they would
Damn.
Yeah, you should sell ball raisers. You should stop the hemorrhaging of all the money that you spend on YouTube and just start reading paid ads for ball sack razors. Right. It's so easy.
It's
just
real easy,
let go and do it.
You know, I've been thinking about doing a video for the longest time, and I don't know if I could get away with it with my sense of humor, but it would be like a paid ad read like every 15 seconds. Like the thumbnail would be, oh my gosh, my freaking Sam 5 just blew up on me or something. And then I get into the video and, you know, obviously do my normal intro, and then it's a paid ad read. And then, so my Sam 5 was running just fine. But before we get into it, and it's another paid ad read, just keep on doing it for like 5 minutes straight.
No freaking doubt. All right, we got questions rolling in. Any word when the RS Regulate is dropping their Gen 2 Ace handguards? I've only seen prototypes at KB. I have no idea when it's dropping. The prototypes look sick, though. Rodrigo, how long are those balls?
12 pulgadas.
That's the only place you'll find deals. What are your thoughts on the Rack 308? I believe that is that kit build from Riley, that 308, that M76?
M77 with the milled receiver.
Is that what it is? M77? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because I guess they chamber that one in 308. I think it's super cool. I think it's the coolest thing they sell, honestly. I think it's super tight. I like it. I'm assuming, what is this, Lethal Weapons? Not this year, but we have an announcement coming up very soon. Sorry to burst your bubble, but we'll talk about that later. Why haven't you reviewed a stock WBP Jack 762 yet? Just takes a little time and money. I'm running low on both. Wall-to-wall ad reads. You won't do it, Mark. I bet you won't do it. Do you still have the Arsenal 103, and do you use it? Can you do another video on it? The Arsenal 103.
I don't think you have one, brother.
Yeah, I don't think I have an Arsenal 103.
Is there a 103?
I'm trying to think what he's talking about. The KR 103 that we had for a while, maybe? I had the KR 103. That was just on loan from KUSA back before the cocaine. That one I had to give back. I don't know what gun you're talking about specifically. I have the Saiga 103, which is an SGL SK21. Imp Simp tips $2. Should I panic buy an M85 or wait for the ban to end?
Here's my opinion. Number one, never panic buy, right? So just get that out of the way. Never panic buy. However, the flip side of the coin is if you wait, it's going to be more expensive regardless. So if you have the ability to find an M85 on the secondary market that's in good condition, I'd say, and it's a good price, go ahead and get it. But man, it's a tough situation because that's one of the downsides to Zastava is every time that something like this, when it comes to one of these export/import bans comes up, I see a lot of comments. It's like, oh, here's Zastava, trying to get people to panic buy again. They must be hurting for cash. And I'm like, I mean, I see their point, but again, this might run into one of those situations where it might end up being a VEPR, I don't know. It's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Here's one for you, Rodrigo. What's the future for the Sons of Liberty carbine match?
It's not going to happen this year. I don't think there's just probably too much going on. The guy that directed it is not going to be able to host it. So definitely not happening this year, possibly next year. So as far as matches around the Houston area, you're limited to Iron Soul. Iron Soul does a 2-gun match every month, regardless. And they do about 5 stages. Pretty fun match.
Oh, he means the Saiga. I still have it. It's right there. I'm not supposed to touch it. It's right there. I really don't shoot it much, man. It's just kind of a special gun to me. I'm not really going to beat on it.
Is there something going on with Sons of Liberty Gunworks? Is there some type of issue with them or some drama or something?
Yeah, I don't know the whole story. I think they brought in a CEO to help line the company out, and they've I don't think they're doing great, but that's about all I know. I've just heard rumors just because they're semi-local to where we are, and they're kind of tied to the venue. Yeah, I know they brought in a CEO to maybe try to steer the ship into the right direction. That's literally what was said to me. And that I guess they're not doing too hot compared to how they've been doing in the past. That's AR stuff, though. I don't really know about all that.
Yeah.
Booger Sugar rules. Yeah. KUSA had their fair amount of that. Tusk, always in the chat. Tips $2. Pet by A Perfect Circle. Best song? Is that the Perfect Circle song?
Let's see.
I don't think that's the one I would listen to all the time.
How many cats do you have, Mark?
I have 2.
Oh, okay. Because I thought you pulled up 7 cats while we were talking. I was like, golly.
I would say, in my personal opinion, Outsider, the Apocalypse remix, which is the song that they used at the end of one of the Resident Evil movies. That's my favorite Perfect Circle song. So
I can't remember the name of it. Judith.
Yep. Yep.
I like that. I think that's my favorite song.
That's a good one too.
I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
What's your favorite? I don't know any. What is El Sonidito? That's the name of a song, not a band.
No, that's just the name of a song. Yeah. Y'all think Russian sanctions will go away, and will we ever see cheap ammo again?
No.
Probably not.
I'm honestly a little hopeful that some of these peace talks, he maybe slides it across the table and says, "Hey, I'm not asking much."
Man, I will say, from going to gun shows, you can still find ammo. I mean, not really cheap, but you can still find ammo out there.
It's the only way I've been acquiring AK ammo. Steel case, gun shows.
Yeah, gun shows. That's the way to go. No tax, no shipping, and It's been the lifeblood for us, right? We just go, we buy ammo.
Yep. Meridian Defense 100 series. They're supposed to be launching a 101 soon.
Mm-hmm.
Short of that, no info. I know they sure do post a lot testing it, so I'm hopeful that it's good. Let's see. Should I try to get rid of my M70 now, or should I hop on this? Should I hope that this ban doesn't end so it'll be worth something? You definitely should not hope that. And don't get rid of it. Why get rid of it at all?
Because of the soft metals.
Right.
You don't want to egg out your pins, right?
You don't want to egg out your pins. Make a YouTube channel, film it a bunch. They'll start paying you. Then you don't have to sell it. It can be a money-making machine. All right, a few more questions here. Let me find some good ones. Let me know if you guys see some good ones. More Riley Crane. Oh, there's Poppy. I know you were in here. We're actually going to shoot. Someone asked earlier, now that I see Poppy here, they asked about the Winter Motherland from PSA. That is not happening, but Devin Axton and I think Chad Wiley are doing their own thing. What do they call it, Rodrigo? Rock and lock?
Rock and lock with your pants down.
Right. Something like that. But they're doing something in December at that range. I don't think it's sold out yet. We're going to be on Poppy Martin's squad. I've never shot one.
We get the squad up with the Poppy.
A Poppy squad.
And Javier. Javier's on the same squad.
Yeah, Javi. That's who I sent that firing pin to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Come up to Thunder on the Tundra. Come up here next year. It's sold out for the end of September. Man, it's just so freaking far. Dude, we live in like Central Texas, dude. That is more South Texas. That is so far.
Yeah. It's tough for me to even get up there. And I think it'd be like, call it a 9-hour drive. So that is one of them that I've been trying to get to, just because I have friends up that way too. So
what's one upgrade you want to see for AKs? Might not exist yet.
I would say, I don't know how you would do it, but like on the Stenzel, it's got that last round bolt hold open and bolt catch.
Yeah.
I would love to see something like that. I mean, so like the AB2 has the magazines that have the last round bolt hole open, but as soon as you release that magazine, the bolt drops. To have a mechanism that could hold that open would be really cool.
Man, what a great answer that was. Yeah, like a drop-in, somehow installable by a normie bolt hold open mechanism. It would you'd probably have to buy it, and it would probably come with followers that you'd swap into some mags to engage it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah. So get on that, Possum. Figure it out.
Yeah, you got a web store. You do that shit. Oh my God, I can't keep up with all the comments here. All right, let me get to this fellas here.
I think maybe if all AKs just started popping out with adjustable gas, that would be awesome. It would eliminate the KNS pistons.
One upgrade I'd like to see is having cheese graters disappear. You're gonna make Tony cry. Yeah, great. Well, great answer, Mark. So thoughtful.
Yeah, don't ask me where that came from. I was struggling.
Probably out of your butt.
Yeah.
Doc tips $5. Looking at chopping my M90, stop at 16, or go shorter and do like a, what does he mean? Like PDW? Pin and weld. Got it.
Oh, pin and weld.
Like a 14.5 or something. I like having mine at 16 just because that 2 inches, it still looks like a fairly short AK now. But, dude, I at this point, I've chopped so many 5.56 AK barrels down. I've seen how much velocity I lose out to distance. I kind of like keeping them right at 16. So for me, 16. But Rodrigo would
I like the
disagree.
chop. I chop everything, man. I don't care. And the unrivaled brake, that thing is so freaking long. When you pin and weld that sucker, your barrel is 12.7.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. See, I personally like the 18-inch barrel in the M90. That's just my personal opinion. Mainly because I've been able to shoot distance with it, and that extra length kind of helps stabilize the round, especially with heavier bullets, a little bit better. But that's just me. I'm looking for performance more so than shorter barrels. So
With 7.62, I like them short.
Mhm.
With 5.56, my freaking 106 with that 14.5 just cannot stretch out to distance like some of my other 16-inch AKs. The round just drops so hard. B, I think I understand your question. He says, if there was one AK Dad's discontinued or no longer imported from any country, which one would it be? Are you asking of all of the AKs that are discontinued or no longer imported, what do we like? I'm going to assume that's what you're asking. If I could have anything back, I would say the stamped SLR 100 series, the Bulgarians, the 106s, the 104s, and the 107s. If I could have any line of AKs come back, that's it. Even over the Saigas, dude. I would take the Bulgarian 100 series with all the folders over anything. If those came back and were like affordable and plentiful, I would give anything to have those back.
I'm going to go a different direction. I've got one, but I haven't seen a number. I don't have much experience with them, but the Narinkos, I'd like to see Narinkos come back again.
Be cool to buy some 56s again, some like double underfolders.
Well, I did see a comment earlier that when we were talking about 5.56 AKs, that the 5.56 MAC 90 or Narinkos were like good to go.
The 84 84S or 86S. One of those is the crazy bullpup. I always get the two mixed up. I think it's the 84S. Imp Simp. I can drive the M13. Shitty combo chop my M90. He did mine. Did a great job. Why not?
Yeah. Yep,
But I will say
84S.
Before you do that, they make a 5-position gas thing for the M90 now. Maybe invest in that.
Yeah, I'm gonna put one in the M77 because it just didn't suppress great with the Book. And someone reminded me in the comments to get one of those. I'm like, damn, I should have done that before I filmed with it. I'm definitely gonna buy one of those. All right, we're at 2 hours. Let's do 2 more really good questions. Rodrigo, I'm gonna let you pick one. Mark, okay. You pick the other one.
All right, sounds good. Let's see. I'm gonna look through here. All right, I got one. I've been meaning to ask about this. So Vince Metzger, the new Bulgarian 45 round mags that just hit the market, they're like 20 chicken nuggets. Has anyone tried them? Honestly, I prefer having the that type of magazine versus the big chunky the one that you have, Clay. What is it?
It's a coffin. It's the AC Unity, like a coffin quad stack.
I don't like the coffin one. So if I could get the same amount of rounds in a longer mag, which makes it look like an OG 545 by 39 mag, money. So to answer your question, I haven't had any experience with them. I do know that they still have them in stock. So, and they have them in every single color. I like the plum color. The plum color looked amazing.
These are the same Bulgarian commercial mags that have been coming in as 30s.
Yes.
They sell 45s now. I didn't know that.
20 chicken nuggets.
I'll check those out. Yeah, because I've got 2 of the AC Unities. I haven't even tried them yet.
And those are like 15 chicken nuggies. But you know, certain magwells, like I can't run them in the Krebs because I've got the flange. They barely lock into my M90 because they have the JMac magwell, and that mag gets so fat so fast. You know, I would 110% agree. If it's going to be a 45, I would just do a double stack mag, just like an RPK,
Yeah.
Why AC Unity did a quad stack, I have no freaking clue. Every other mag they do, other than 7.62, they have 40 and 45 variants in 5.45 and 7.62. I don't know why they didn't do it with 5.56. Wish they would.
Yeah.
Possum made a good point. He has 3 of the AC Unity mags, the 45er, and he said that all 3 of his failed. And I watched it at KB. His 45 took a shit on him right in the middle of the stage.
Clark limp wrist the shit out of his AKs though.
No, he didn't add graphite. That's what it was. He didn't put that graphite in there. Yeah.
Don't let Possum needs to put some respect on AC Unity's name and stop.
Hey, can I ask Possum something? Possum, what the fuck are you making with all that 3D printing shit? I'm like, is he making something? You're always making like little, I don't know what they are. I'm like, what are you making?
That's part of the enjoyment, is getting people to guess what you're making.
Okay.
FMK, Bubbles, Randy, Trevor. Is this a Trailer Park Boys thing? I don't understand the FMK reference. Maybe I'm just dumb. Yeah, Trailer Park Boys is cool. Mark, did you pick your final question?
Yeah, I lost it here, but it was Partygoer asked, what is everyone's favorite barrel length on 7.62 by 39 AKs?
Oh, that's easy. Easy. 12-inch Draco, dude. Factory, the normal Draco, which is like 12-ish inches. That's the barrel length.
Yep.
I would agree with Clay on that. I have one, and it's a nice shoot.
See, and it's actually a very good question, because I've been thinking about getting a Wasser, another Walser. I had a RH10 and I got rid of it, which I should have never done that. I should have just chopped it. But now I'm thinking that maybe I should get just a standard length Draco. And because, as mentioned before, my buddy RJ, he went up to Nebraska and shot the Heartland 2-gun match regionals and took 3rd. And he did so on a Draco. So, yeah, I'm thinking that maybe I should do that too.
Dude, freaking Romanian Draco. Who was I talking to the other day? I had to explain the whole thing of why a Draco was actually a real thing and how everything's called a Draco now and how I don't know. I had to explain this to everyone one day, but I was like, there are AKs that are actually called Dracos. The real ones are good. Watch out for the Century produced ones, because they still call them Dracos, but they're really not. And there's also these things called M92s and M85s that will be called a Draco, but they're not. Anyway, Dracos are badass. For the price, for what a regular old Draco that doesn't have, it's still got a flat back rear end. I see someone in the comments, Draco better than Crink. You know what? Where does comment go? I would agree. For the price, if you were to get a Draco SBR set up with a nice stock, you're going to get so much out of that gun. You'll love it. So, Mark, please buy a Draco, dude.
Okay. Well,
hey, we could be the wire folder buddies. Get it with the wire folder.
Next time we can go live, we'll get kicked off, but we can point them at the camera the whole time when we do our live stream.
We can put the Glock switches in them.
Draco C. The Draco C. I know why, but who's a smarty pants can tell me what is different about the Draco C compared to a regular Draco? Who's a smarty pants here? Anyone?
C is for degree.
Someone's going to get it in the comments section. I just know it.
Yep. That's an every time I think of Draco, the first thing that pops in my head is bolts. Bolts gets inundated day in and day out about questions with Dracos.
This guy's close. Something to do with the rear trunnion. Any idea?
Is it the wire stock?
It's all Dracos are flat back, but the Draco C is a little different. Ah, my man got it. They actually come with underfolder trunnions already riveted in place. So if you were to SBR them, you already have the right trunnion to put an underfolder on it.
Do you have to drill through the receiver?
Yes.
Ah, okay. Cool.
Pretty neat,
That
huh?
would be cool if you got one of those.
Yeah,
Mark.
then you're stuck. Then you're stuck with the worst stock when you could have a crutch folder and have a way better stock.
Which I already have a crutch folder. So
That's the play. Put a fixed single tang fixed stock trunnion in there. You can run wood stocks whenever you want. You can put your wire folder on whenever you want. You have everything available to you at that point.
You know,
So
thinking about it now with that new leather wrap that Davernov has, that would look dope on my wire folder.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, you mean this stuff? I got some right here.
Yeah, that stuff right there. Oh man,
Badass. I wish I could pick the gun up and show you. But YouTube will.
Hey, just put some on your pecker real quick and show us.
Apparently, I could just put them on my balls and show it to you, and I'm not violating any policies.
So with the Draco, I would have to have a tanged rear trunnion installed.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Easy to find. Like when I sit mine into M13, I was like, John, do you have trunnions? He's like, dude, I got a drawer full of single tang trunnions, AKM trunnions, drawer full of them. He just pops the rivets out of the back, pulls that cap out, puts the single tang. It's no different than the rear trunnion of a Wasser. It's an AKM rear tang.
Yep.
Rivets it in place and you're done.
Yep. Because we've got a gunsmith here in town, and he specializes in AK stuff.
So Clay, I had to, when I did mine, they took the rear trunnion out, or they in the back, and they had to weld the holes back up, and then put in a AKM rear trunnion. So you're saying I could have just got something else and it would have been easier?
Say that part again. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I was reading Possum's silly comment.
When I got my Draco, I took it to Iron Curtain, and I took my AKM trunnion, a real one, right?
Yep.
And so they had to take the one that was in it out and weld up those holes, and then put the new one in with new holes.
Oh, so whatever plug a Draco uses, probably whatever holes are in that plug, that rivet pattern is different from the rivet pattern that holds in a standard AKM trunnion.
Yep. So you're saying I could have done something else? That's what you're telling, that you could have just got a different trunnion and it would have just...
No, it's the same process.
Oh,
okay. If your AKM
he's going to have to weld holes.
Yeah, but that's all par for the course. You're going to have it refinished, the whole thing.
Gotcha.
It's not a big deal. Shouldn't be that expensive either. Rodrigo Possum really wanted you to know that he has 7 items in the works. I have 3 items ready for third-party testing. Could be you.
Oh, shit. I'm looking for a sponsor. Possum, I'm looking for a sponsor. First sponsor on the channel. Send me something.
But just know, dude, got really used to that Zastava money, so you're going to have to hit me with a sales pitch that comes even remotely close to that.
That's true. So never mind, Possum, because Zastava's paying really good.
Sorry, Possum. One day, Possum. All right, fellas. Well, we have hit the 2 hour and 10 minute mark. It's a long time. We always say we're not going to go this long when we book these things, but it always goes that long.
Yep.
And man, like 250 y'all watching most of the time. That's badass. This is a good time. I think people really like watching Rodrigo and Mark.
It's Mark with the cats.
That's what it was. Yeah, thanks. Good show. Well, thanks, fellas. I think that was really cool. So just to recap, tried to pull a fast one on old Garand Thumb. Got bit in the ass by age restriction. Mi amigo killed the indestructible Pioneer Arms 5.56 AK, probably on purpose to get the views.
Yeah.
And my man Mark, full-fledged member of the Shill Guild, is still shilling his ass off for Zastava.
Yep. Buy a suppressor now. Don't wait.
Yeah, make sure you use the code Fit and Fire. That's FI. You could save 50 pounds per can. That could be like 200 pounds for 4 cans.
For a family of 4.
For a family of 4
better. Some would say that's better. That's nothing better. It's better than a Jet 2 holiday, probably.
Oh, gosh.
Awesome.
I love that.
All right, y'all. Well, I appreciate everyone watching. Fellas, thanks for coming on. We'll do this again very soon. I'll try not to make it a month before we do this again.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Everybody, clink. Love you all. Bye.
Hasta luego, amigos.
Yeah, that's a big Buenos Tardes.
Buenas tardes.